Welcome everybody to another great video here in the Fine Water Academy, and today we already had a video actually in the past about sparkling waters and how to serve for sparkling water, to open the bottle right in front of the guest, to recap a little bit because you want to hear the sound. That's already the storytelling.
Yep.
And actually by regulations in the European Union you have to open a bottle of water in front of the guest. It's not allowed to open it at the bar or somewhere else. And I strongly believe in that rule, I think, because you should always see the nature product. It should be open in front of the guest. It's the same with a wine bottle. When you're buying a wine bottle or a bottle of champagne especially, it's kind of a weird feeling when you bought a bottle for $200 or $300 of champagne and the server comes off open. It's like, I would not take that. It's the same with water, so please always make sure you're opening your bottle of water in front of the guest. It's very important. But we wanted to talk a little bit about the carbonation level, because on a regular basis, the carbonation level, we all know, even when it says natural carbonated water, most of the times, the carbonation comes out of the ground with the water. They are putting the carbonation into a tank or into a gas tank. They're bottling the water, and then they're infusing it back with that carbonation level. Therefore, you see a lot of companies have now still sparkling and medium sparkling waters. So they're utilizing the same CO2, but in different measurements.
Right.
We have here a brand, what is kind of interesting as well, they're doing it slightly different.
And what's really interesting, so naturally carbonated water is still very different from artificially carbonated water.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very different. And I think one of the best explanation I came up with, it's like a forced marriage. Artificially carbonated water is you have water that has never experienced any kind of carbonation, and you force carbonation into it. And like many forced marriage, it lasts for a little while.
Correct.
But
it's not used to each other.
It's not used to each other, and the carbonation separates usually rather quickly.
Yeah.
Totally different what Martin described with natural carbonation, because the water is naturally carbonated in the ground. It is built already kind of a grid where the carbonation can hold on to. They're just separated for a little bit. So it's a married couple that got separated for a week and then reunited. So the water comes out of the ground, carbonation is in there, CO2 gets separated from the water and put together in the bottle again. But when it's put together, you can adjust the carbonation level. Meaning, if you would taste the water at the source and in the bottle, the carbonation level would be different. And we have both been to natural carbonated sources. We've experienced exactly that.
We always saying it's kind of like a wine. You know, by champagne, the second fermentation happens into the bottle. So the bubbles are staying way longer in a bottle of champagne or a bottle of Sekt or whatever. It's like the second carbonation happens into the bottle. Then there are some brands, when you see it like for $2 or $3, a bottle of sparkling wine in the grocery store, you already know that quality cannot be really perfect. Michael, lucky him, he cannot drink it anymore, so he doesn't need to worry at all about it. But we all know this, like a very, very cheap bottle of sparkling wine cannot hold the carbonation so long because it's infused with the carbonation, versus a great bottle of a little bit more elaborated champagne or Sekt or like a high-end Prosecco or Cava, where the second fermentation happens into the bottle and the carbonation stays longer.
So that's why we are fortunate, and I think it's a first.
Yeah, I never heard about it beforehand as well.
So what you have with Cana here is that the whole process we described of the separating of the water from the CO2 is not happening, because the whole bottling process is under pressure. So the water you're drinking in this bottle here is actually the same carbonation level that you have in the source. And
that's for us fascinating. And we want to drink it, obviously.
We will be there.
So yeah, I'm excited to open it.
So of course you've heard a little bit this slight bubble.
And always important as well, when you're opening a bottle of sparkling wine, always make sure it's facing kind of like to you, the bottle, the same with a champagne bottle, because you never know, maybe this bottle was shaken by another co-worker or something like this, and you don't want to have obviously the carbonation and the sparkling hitting your face or even the guest. So please always be careful when you're opening a bottle of sparkling wine.
So naturally carbonated water from Slovenia, Cana Royal.
Yeah. Cheers.
I can see it.
It's incredible. It's champagne bubbles. It's like clearly like what you would think about it. It's not aggressive at all. It's not, and this is for me fascinating, because a lot of sparkling waters are very sour and a little acidic on the palate. Cana is completely non-acidic.
Not so acidic. And if you open it, you see big bubbles. You think, oh, this has a lot of bubbles, but then you taste it, and it's fine. Totally effervescent, so it's classic effervescent, effervescent. And both of us will be in Slovenia for doing the Taste Awards 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And we will do another video and we'll drink the water from the source and from the bottle. And
correct. And then we want to compare it really, like, if this is the real deal, but we really think it is the real deal.
Because of the way it feels, right?
Yeah.
And we have had natural carbon, if you drink them right away, you have that feeling, the little tiny bubbles,
correct.
But not this big bubble.
Yeah. So you see, sparkling water is not just sparkling water as well now.
Mm-hmm.
Quite fascinating.
And just want to mention, it's really fascinating for me how we're expanding the category, right? We started the academy over 1.5 years ago, and now we're standing here and we have new products. We talked about the curated waters, waters from many states of where water's coming from, and we're talking about natural carbonated mineral water that comes from...
That's a beautiful thing. It's like a wine menu. A water menu needs to live as well, and you should change it out sometimes, and you should look at it. What is your offerings? Your guest maybe wants to see something new as well sometimes. So therefore, I'm updating my water menus, what I'm creating every year. It's quite a money investment, obviously, as well, but we make money as well with this. So and I think it's important to always bring something new to your guest. And it should be a living object as well. The same what water is a living object, and your water menu needs to be very lively as well. And as a water sommelier, always be open-minded for new things. New things, discover, read, listen to it, and discover something new, because that is the beauty about to be a water sommelier. You can drink tons of water and you won't be pulled over by the police. Cheers.